we've made it out the other side. I might not sound well, but that's because I've been coughing. But the coughing is just the leftover congestion that I'm dealing with. I feel well. He feels well. Beginning to think about things that we want to do, things that we need to do. And I was in the kitchen earlier doing some veg prep. I'd got veg in the fridge that had been there for, well, I've been unwell for a couple of weeks, so it was in the fridge for a couple of weeks, and I had to chuck some of it. So I'd got veg delivered yesterday, and I thought I'm gonna do some prep, which I can then cook it and freeze it so that it's ready for Christmas Day, and I don't have to worry about carrots going soft again. I don't know the best way to keep carrots. They never last for very long. So I've done that. I had onions sitting in the kitchen for weeks. I watched James Martin making French onion soup weeks ago, and I've just watched him make it again in a different episode. I thought I'm going to make that. I bought those weeks ago, and of course I've not been able to do anything like that. So I said to Mark, tomorrow I'll make the French onion soup. Having watched him do it twice, it looks quite simple now. I don't have the correct pots to put it in when you cook it, so you're meant to ladle it into a sort of a crock pot that will go under the grill, because you put the crouton on top with the cheese on top. You put it under the grill. I don't have anything that will work under the grill, so I will have to grill the crouton and cheese separately. But I'll make that tomorrow, and it doesn't take long, so that's good. We're going to Joe's tomorrow to go and pick up the frozen Indian that we will have on Christmas Day, and then we'll do Christmas with Joe or New Year's Eve, which is the Sunday, a week Sunday. So that's what we'll do about that. I think we still need a bit of time just to get back on form, really. Mark's going to put the decorations up tomorrow before we go over, and then we're planning on doing a little bit of shopping on Friday. That all depends on how we are. I think we ought to test ourselves. I was reading yesterday that you're most infectious in the days leading up to symptoms and 5 days, the first 5 days. Well, I'm well over that. Lizzie said it was day 10 yesterday or today, so I think, yeah, I'm day 11. I think Mark's day 7, so it'd be interesting to do a test. But I think if we mask up, we'll be fine. We might do that, but we had planned. There was a plan a couple of weeks ago, actually. I wanted to go to Cultura, so we might do that on Friday. That would be really nice. We can go and eat over there, because there's lots of places to choose to eat. And we can go in Cultura and do the things that we wanted to do in there, and I can go in Grand Frais and they do nicer food in there. It's more global. I can get more Asian stuff in there, so we might do that on Friday or Saturday. That's touch wood that we feel like we feel now. I do feel so much better. Mark's not sleeping very well. Hopefully he'll sleep tonight. He's not really getting off to sleep very well. His knee, as you saw with him walking, he says he can feel it, and obviously he can. He knows how it feels. But to look at him walking along, you wouldn't know he'd had his knee done. About a week ago, we moved the blue chair out of the room. Really pleased to see the back of that. We've moved it out to under the stairs. It looks quite nice under there, but I keep meaning to put a duvet cover over it, because I don't want it to just go under there and get, dusty and dirty. So it needs a dust cover, but a double duvet cover will do that. And now I'm feeling well, I might get around to doing that. So that got moved out, and we've been sitting together on the sofa again, which is really nice. He's struggling to get off it. So yeah, I think it's still difficult. He has to work hard and think hard about how he's going to get up. I had my rheumatology appointment yesterday as a teleconsultation, which was intriguing. We got it set up on Friday. The secretary talked to me about the website I needed to go to, so to set it all up. And then I think she spoke to me on Friday, I can't remember, but we had a bit of a face-to-face. It might have been Monday, because she rings the day before to say you've got your appointment, and I had to remind her it's going to be a teleconsultation. That's it. So we had a bit of a face-to-face. You go into the waiting room and then you get connected. And so then my appointment was set up for, I had to be there at 10:05 in the waiting room, and my appointment was 10:15, and I was there till 10 to 11. And I got a phone call. I had a phone call from the secretary telling me, "It's okay, there's a lady before you and we're running a bit late." And then I got a phone call to say, "We've got technical difficulties, it's not working." So I sat for nearly an hour and didn't have that. And they rescheduled for 1:45. And so I had my appointment with my rheumatologist at 1:45. And she was sitting with a light box behind her. You know, the light boxes you use to put x-rays on to be able to see her. So she's sitting in silhouette, and she's got a black mask on. And it was like, God, it's really difficult in French if you can't read the lips as well. I need to read lips. And she was in the dark, and it was quite a while. There was a gap where I was able to say to her, "You're sitting in the dark." So she turned the light out and she took her mask off, because I said to her it was like Halloween. I'm disappointed. I was able to upload a resume of my last 6 months, which, as you know, has been trying, if nothing else. In my last 6 months since I've seen her, I've injured my shin, I fell over and hurt my elbow, I had that really bad throat. So my immune system's really, really been under pressure during that time. So I wrote to her telling her this is how and plus Mark's knee, and dealing with that and having to step up to the whatever it is, can't remember, for 2 or 3 weeks whilst he was disabled. I wrote that, and she hadn't read it. I know she hadn't read it before the consultation, even though I'd uploaded it. So when we had the discussion about, how I was, she misconstrued me saying we're getting better and better. I was talking about the COVID, not about my PMR. So she's got me, she's prescribed me to start reducing my steroids. I'm not really happy about it, because it is really difficult, and it's quite a large jump to come down 1 milligram a day. That's 7 milligrams a week. But I have to do it because I'll only have the prescription for that amount, and I can probably eke it out for a bit because I've got some spares. So I will try not to come down 1 milligram a day all at once. I'll do it every other day for a couple of weeks and try and eke it out. But when you've got a prescription for steroids, you can only get what you're prescribed. And the dates are quite strict, so you can't go and get some early. So there's a sort of an anxiety that you're going to run out. It's a bit like, I know people sort of say we've got a lot of wood, and we have got a lot of wood, but in a couple of winters back, we didn't have much wood, and there was a real anxiety about, will we have enough, or will we get wood to carry on keeping us warm through winter? Well, it's a little bit the same with the steroids. There's a sort of an anxiety about, oh, am I going to make those last? Have I got enough? So I'm not that happy about that, but that's the way it was. But it was really useful to have a teleconsultation, and because otherwise I would have missed my appointment, because I couldn't have gone. Even today I couldn't have gone, or tomorrow maybe, because I'd need to be really sure to test negative before I go and have a medical consultation or a face-to-face consultation with anybody. So it was a bit tiring yesterday, the whole, hanging around in the morning and then it not happening, and then having again in the afternoon. And then we had a shopping delivery and he got lost. He couldn't find us. So that was another bit of trying. So I was quite tired, I think, yesterday by the time tea time came. But yeah, I feel much better today. You saw that we walked up the hamlet, and I could have walked a bit further, but I can hear me. I'm wheezing. I'm not breathing very well, so that was a bit of a struggle. It's interesting. Somebody said how pretty it is where we live, and of course, what I'm seeing when I walk up there is like all the leaves have gone. It was a dull day. The sun wasn't out, and the roads really potted and rutted and dug up, and that's what I see because it's where I live. And I knew as I was doing it, thinking I'll do a vlog, I knew that it would look different to other people. So other people that don't live here in France and have a very different outlook for themselves will see it very differently, and it looks very pretty and romantic. But to me, it's like it's my norm for the last 17 years. And it looked really dull today because it was a dull day. So I'm really eager to go to bed and wake up feeling relatively well, and thinking about maybe on Friday we can go to Cultura and do what we planned to do 2 weeks ago. I think it was. Now I was talking about it. I think it was. Yeah. Still good. That's it. That's the good thing. Oh, he went for a blood test this morning that he wasn't going to have. I had a thought that he needed a blood test after 15 days, 15 days after ending the anticoagulants, but he didn't. But he got there and stood outside and rung them and said, I'm here, I'm in the parking. So they opened the window and said, you can come in, there's nobody in. And she said, you don't need it. So he's quite pleased he didn't have to have his blood test. I mean, he's had them quite regularly recently, but he still doesn't like having them. I'm just used to having them for 7 years. I don't really take any notice, but he doesn't like having them. So there we are. It is 10 to 11 in the evening on Wednesday. Oh, the free technician came this morning. I thought I'd cancelled it. And Mark had gone for his blood test, and I was standing at the door looking out, and there was a car parked the other side of the wall. And I was looking at that thinking, well, what's that? And then someone else came round the wall from the other side. And it was the free technician. And I said to him, I thought I'd cancelled, I've got COVID. And he said, oh, can I put on a mask? And I went, well, okay, yeah, I'll put on a mask. So I put on a mask, he put on a mask, and I left the door open. I mean, he's young, he was like, late 20s. Obviously not worried about it at all. I just, for me, about them not coming into the house is protecting them, but he wasn't bothered. And apparently the problem with our internet connection isn't us, it's in the village. And it's something gets disconnected in the box in the village, and it's the connection is via Orange. So they have to contact Orange and get Orange to do something about the box in the village. It's a pain, really, but he said our neighbour Vincent is in the same situation, so at least it's not us. I'll be pleased when we've got fibre. That'll be really nice. So yeah, that was this morning. Okay, I'm going now, and I'll see you again. Well, you'll get this in the morning, so you'll get this Thursday morning. I'll probably do another one tomorrow evening. Okay, bye.